All right, so we had to create 5 rows. So the one on the very right is going to be actual results.
Okay. Got my piece of paper here.
The one in the middle here is going to be flexible budget variance. I think. Let me double check. I always get confused sometimes. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, okay, cool. So one right here is flexible budget variance. The one in the middle is going to be flexible budget.
Okay.
The one over here is going to be sales volume variance. And the one over here is going to be static budget amounts. Or I usually just put static budget, that's fine. And then I like to put a line between each one.
Yeah, I'm just doing that as we go.
Okay, cool. Then let's see.
Was that say on the side static budget? Okay.
Yeah. And then let's see. All right. So the first thing we had to do is put in all the information we know, right? So they gave us certain information, right? They give us the
Yeah.
unit sold, the revenues, the variable manufacturing costs, the fixed manufacturing costs, and the gross margin.
So that's the stuff we write on the side, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you can
Okay.
put
In that
sold.
order? Is it in that? It's just making sure, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna make that blind, and then I'm gonna put a line here. And then I'm gonna write unit sold.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing.
I'm gonna write revenues. I'm gonna write variable costs, fixed costs, and GM. Line between each one. There we go. Variable costs. Fixed costs. And GM. So we're gonna fill in the information we know, right? So units sold here is gonna be 7,275. Revenue is gonna be 900 or 596,550. Variable manufacturing cost is 351,965. Fixed manufacturing cost is 108,398. And GM is going to be 136,187. And we've got to put in a static budget, so 7,500 there for units. 600,000 for the revenues. 324,000 for the variable costs. 112,500 for the fixed manufacturing costs. And the GM is 163,500.
Okay.
So are you on the same page right now?
Yeah, I'm just writing the last 30 things in.
Okay. So the whole point of doing this is static budget gives us So the static budget is created before the actual numbers are posted. And what the static budget does is kind of give us like a forecast of what's going to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, actual results is what actually happened. And the thing is, what we want to do right now is compare our static budget to the actual results to see how accurate our forecast numbers are. Unfortunately, because units sold is different for the static budget, it wouldn't be an accurate comparison.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like comparing fixed manufacturing costs and variable manufacturing costs and revenues with a 2019 report for airlines and a 2020 report. For a 2020 report, of course, costs and revenues are going to be different because of the pandemic and there's different amount of plane seats sold. So what we want to do is basically make the plane seats like the same amount, so we're actually be able to give an accurate comparison.
Okay.
So that's why that's the whole reason why we make the flexible budget. We make the units proportionate or the same as actual results in order so that we can actually compare our new modified forecast to the actual results. Okay, so the
Okay.
actual results here is going to be 7275. Or sorry, the flexible budget unit sold is going to be 7275. So this variance right here is always going to be 0 because we're taking it from here. We're
Yeah.
from there, right? The variance here is going to be 225 because that's the difference between static budget and flexible budget.
Okay.
For the revenue, what you want to do for the revenue is take $600,000 and put it over 7,500 and make it equal to X over 7275. And you need to find X. And the reason why we can make proportions is because we're converting the forecast, the static budget, to the flexible budget in a proportionate manner.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we can create a proportion. What you can also do is do 600,000 divided by 7,500.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I did. I think I got 582,000.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So that would be the number there, and the difference should be what, the 18,000?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And the reason why that works is because of proportions, and we're just basically proportioning our revenue down by selling 225 less units.
So now we would do the next one, except you'd take the 324,000 and divide it by the 7,275. Or no, the 7,500.
Yep.
Over,
So divide
okay.
by 7,500 and you multiply it by 7,275.
Okay, so 324,000.
And this is going to be
300.
9.
Yeah, 314,280. Okay, yeah, that's what I got.
And then fixed costs are going to stay the same because fixed costs, they don't change.
Okay.
And then what we want to do is, let's look. Basically, we're going to go down and do revenue minus variable cost minus fixed cost to get our GM.
Wait, what did you say again?
So in order to find the GM, we're going to do revenue minus variable costs minus fixed costs.
Okay.
And then in order to find the middle number, we're just going to take the difference between the two.
Okay.
And yeah.
So the 163,500 minus the, yeah.
And then for our flexible budget variance, we're going to do the same thing. So you just want to find the differences between all of those. So do you want to do that for me real quick? And then just
The differences between the flexible budget and the actual results.
Yep, exactly. For the
Okay.
flexible budget variance. So just do that while
Yeah.
I'm setting up our next part.
Okay.
All right, what are your numbers?
So for the revenues, I got 14,550.
Okay, that's good.
Then the next one is 37,685.
What was the second one?
37,685.
Yeah, that's good.
And minus 4,102. Do you put the negatives in?
No minuses.
No negatives. Okay.
And then what was this one?
19,033.
Okay. And then as an extra thing, what you want to do is see if these variances are favorable or unfavorable. Okay.
Okay.
And if they're unfavorable, we put a U, and if they're favorable, we put an F. So basically, a variance is unfavorable if it's costing us more money, and variance is favorable if it is helping us, it's giving us more revenue or less cost. Okay.
Okay.
So for example, this variance right here, the 18,000, what do you think it would be?
So would that one be favorable?
So this one
Or
would be,
you said, wait, you said if it's higher, it's unfavorable, right? Because it costs
or
more.
it depends if it's a revenue or a cost.
Okay.
It's kind of like, for example, let's compare $30. If you make $30 or you make $20, right?
Mm-hmm.
This one's gonna be favorable, right?
Yeah.
But if you had to spend $30 versus spending only $20, this one's gonna be favorable because you're spending less, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really like a more or a less type of thing or
Okay.
a bigger number. It's kind of like depending on the cost. Like if it's a revenue, it's gonna be different from a cost.
Well, if it's a revenue, then would that one be favorable?
So this one, so we're comparing 582,000 to 600,000, right?
Oh, okay. So it'd be
So what's going on? We
unfavorable.
compare the left, we compare the new row,
Mm-hmm.
or we compare left row to right row.
Okay.
And we look at the flexible budget and we're like, okay, this new chart here is actually worse than the old chart, right? Because we're making less money. That's not good, right? So if we're making less money, we'll put a U here, okay?
Okay.
For the variable cost, what do you think is going to be here?
Would that be another unfavorable?
Well, think about it. Explain to me how it would be unfavorable.
Well, because so your flexible budget is 314,280
Mhm.
and your static budget is 324,000. So would it be like, so like, I'm just kind of confused with like the difference between like this one and the revenues one. If
All right, let
like,
me make it simple for you.
yeah.
Our forecast said our cost is gonna be $500 for the Xbox, right?
Yeah.
Our new forecast says it's gonna be 300, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which one's favorable?
500.
So
Well, no, wait, did you say cost or selling price?
cost,
Sorry.
the cost.
Okay, 300, sorry.
Exactly, this is favorable, right? So if you look here, this one is bigger than this one, right?
Mhm.
Therefore, so it used to cost more, but now it costs less. Therefore,
Mhm.
what?
Because it's wait, because there's a like, you mean like oh, because it costs 9,000 less.
This is gonna be favorable
Yeah.
because we're spending less money now, which is a good thing.
Okay.
So that'd be favorable. This is gonna be neither because there's no change.
Okay.
And I'll give you a shot at this one. What would this one be?
Gross margin. Would this one be favorable because we're making more money?
Well, we're making less money, right? Because now it's 155,000.
I'm just the thing I'm a little confused about is like when you said the left to right, like I was just thinking like because the first one was like they're all greater on the right. So that's what I was just confused about.
You just gotta
with
think about
this.
if you're spending more money or you're
Mhm.
making more money, you know? Sometimes
Okay,
it's in
so
terms of
like,
making money, sometimes it's in
okay,
terms
yeah,
of
so the revenues is making money, but like you're losing it there, right?
yeah, so here we're making less money, right? Because
Yeah,
the gross margin here is 163,000 and the gross margin
but,
here,
okay, now, yeah, I get that now.
so that'd be unfavorable.
Okay,
So, and then let's try the flexible budget variance. In the flexible budget variance, we're comparing our actual results to the flexible budget and seeing the actual, if the actual results is better or worse than the flexible budget, okay?
for the revenues, it would be, your actual result is better.
Yep, so that would be what?
So that would make it, unfavorable? So, oh wait, I'm thinking opposite now. It would be favorable now because it's for revenues. You're
Yeah,
making 14,000.
there's no rush. Like these, most students, like they have a hard time conceptualizing it. So it's like, you
Yeah,
take your time, think about what's really going on here, and then make your decision. So
okay,
I want you to look at the variable cost one, and I'm gonna literally time you for like 45 seconds, and then you tell me the answer, okay?
okay.
I'm timing you right now. It's going.
I know, I'm thinking.
So just take your time. Okay,
Okay,
what is it?
I think it would be unfavorable because your flexible budget is 314,000, but the actual result was 37,600 and, or 37,685 more than what your flexible budget was.
Exactly. Yeah. So like, yeah, exactly. So just as a context, this is like very useful, or this is used a lot when you're doing like stock analysis and you're comparing the analysis expectations compared to the actual financial results. They always do this for uh, every quarter. This is why this is very important to do. You want to give it a try for fixed costs? I'll give you like 30 seconds to think about it.
I think so would this one be favorable?
Yeah, because you're spending less.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I get that now. That makes sense.
What about the GM?
Let me take a look. That would be favorable.
Oh,
Wait,
take your time, 45
yeah,
seconds.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, never mind, actually. That would be unfavorable because you're losing $19,033.
Yeah, you're making $19,000 less.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. All right, cool. So we've done that. So let's do the actual question now. So
okay,
this is the hardest question of managerial accounting, in my opinion.
okay.
So yeah, let's have some fun. So you want to read the bottom part of the question now?
Yeah, where is it? So is this the, where should I start from on here? Like where it says Milani collected the following information?
Yeah, I can't see the question right now because my iPad froze, but yeah, just read the bottom part
Alright,
about
so
the frames and the blades and stuff like that.
3 items comprise the standard variable manufacturing costs in 2022 or 2020. Direct materials, frames, static budget cost of 49,500. The standard input for 2020 is 3 ounces per unit. Direct materials, blades, static budget cost of 139,500. The standard input for 2020 is 6 ounces per unit. Direct manufacturing labor, static budget of 135,000. And the input for 2020 is 1.2 hours per unit. Assume there are no variable manufacturing overhead costs. And then the actual variable manufacturing costs in 2020 were as follows. The direct materials, frames, the actual costs were $55,872. The actual ounces were used were 3.2 ounces per unit. And then the direct materials for blades, the actual costs were 150,738. The actual ounces used were 7 ounces per unit. And then for direct manufacturing labor, the actual costs were 145,355, and the actual labor rate was $14.80 per hour. Prepare a report that includes the following: selling price variance and sales volume variance, efficiency variance, and input price variance.
Good, good. Oh boy.
Yeah, it seems pretty tough.
Wait, I'm just making sure I'm not bleeding. Give me un momento.
No problem.
I blew my nose and I wasn't thinking about it. I just had a bloody nose. So
Yeah.
not the best. I think I'm fine, hopefully. We're just gonna pray and find those 30s away real quick. All right, so basically what's happening here is they give us the information for each basically sub-department of Sharp Slicer. And they want us to do the variance analysis and find the selling price variance, the sales volume variance, the efficiency variance, and the input price variance, okay? So what do you think we do first?
We had to create another template.
Exactly, yeah. So we're gonna put the actual results here.
I just had to make another page.
You know what? Let's fuck it. Let's change it.
Does he give a template on here?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay, it said on it says feel free to use or not the template provided.
Oh,
but-
yeah. So he does give a template at first, but on the exam, he does not give you a template.
Oh, so you have to just make it.
There's
on
no
each.
way.
Okay.
Yeah, he would never give you a template.
Yeah, knowing him, he probably wouldn't.
Yeah, even Pause, the nicer teacher, he doesn't give you.
Okay, he just expects you to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, let me create another template then.
Okay. And then are we good for tomorrow at 5:15?
Sure, that
Okay.
works.
Yeah, I have a student from 4 to 5:15, but then I can do it after that.
Okay, yeah, hopefully I'm feeling better tomorrow.
And what day are you leaving?
April 2nd is when I have to go to Jackson Hole.
Is that a Saturday?
Yeah, but the issue with it is for whatever reason, the flight for this the ski club setup is at 7 a.m. in New Jersey. So we're gonna have to leave campus here at like 1 a.m. if we want to get there on time.
All right. So my thing is, like, how busy is like this week for you?
This week,
Yeah.
I just have like I have a presentation on Tuesday, and I don't think it's that busy,
Okay.
but I'll have to check my schedule.
Okay. Because I think we should try and go like almost every day this week because we're coming
Okay.
down to the crunch. And basically, I want to be at the point where at the exam, you not only know the material, but you like actually know it,
hmm
and not just, you've just learned. I want you to be able to know everything. You've been reviewing it. You've done a couple practice exams. Okay.
Okay.
So that's my whole thing right now. So just make sure you're at that stage because we're coming pretty close to that time. So we create that, but then we can't create all the rows. Let me think about this actually. It's been a while. Okay. So there's a couple things we can use here. We can put down units sold.
I'm still making the chart, but I'm following along.
Okay. So units sold, and then we're gonna put down costs and ounces per unit.
Was that say again on the third one?
This one right here,
Yeah.
flexible budget.
No, sorry, third column or third
Oh,
row.
ounces per unit.
Ounces per unit. Okay.
So this one is like, the reason why this is really tricky is I don't think making the chart and doing the numbers is that hard. But what
Mhm.
happens is that we have to basically self-create rows for the actual questions.
Okay, yeah, I left a lot of space on my chart.
Yeah. So basically we have 3 more rows we have to create to do this question, and we got to just conceptualize and think about what rows we need. So
Okay.
first is the unit sold, which is 7275, 7275, and 7500. Okay.
Okay.
It's 225, and this is 0. And basically the reason why they don't give us that information for frames specifically, but we know that we're using like 1 frame per unit. Therefore, the units sold is going to be the same for frames. Okay.
Okay.
The cost they give us is going to be 55,872 for actual results, and it's going to be 49,500 for this one. And then the middle one is going to be, let me think. So the middle one, we got to do the division and the multiplying.
Yeah. So the 49,500 divided by the 7,500
Yep.
times 7275. So 48,015. Does that sound correct?
Yep. And then you want to do the variance for the flexible budget variance now?
Sure. So the seven, eight, five, seven.
7857, that looks right. And then so basically the flexible budget ounces is going to be 3, it's going to be 0, it's going to be 0.2. And the reason why we know the flexible budget ounces is 3 is because, for example, let's say you're making X boxes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And each X box is 2 pounds, right? It doesn't matter if we make 72 or 7,200 or 7,500. There's still going to be 2 pounds per X box, right? Same deal here. The ounces
Okay.
per unit is going to stay the same for the flexible budget and the static budget.
Okay.
So now we got to self-create rows. And this is the hard part. This is where people get really tripped up. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to basically do this one, and we'll walk through the second one together, and I'll try to let you do the third one by yourself.
Okay.
So I'm thinking here, I'm like, okay, what rows can I make here? What rows can I make here? And I'm like, okay, we got the units sold here, and we got the ounces per unit, right? Therefore, we can make a row called total units. And total units is going to be 3.2 times 7275.
So 23,280.
Yep.
Wait, so where did you get the 21,825 from again?
21825.
Yeah.
21825. I did basically 3 times 7275.
Oh, okay.
So now that we've done that row, I'm like, okay, what other rows can we do? And we have total cost, we have total units, therefore we could do cost per unit.
So is what you do for the total units, you just multiply each of the numbers in the what ounces per unit times 7275?
Yeah. So basically right now, I'm just creating rows for myself. And then we're going to use these rows to find our variances. And a lot of the time, when you're really inexperienced, you can create a lot of rows you don't even need. Like for me, I know what rows to create to be efficient. But when you're just starting out, you need to create all the rows you can think of, and then pick out the rows you need to find the variances. Therefore, you have more information than you actually need. Okay. So in cost per unit, how do you think we're going to find cost per unit?
Would you take the costs and multiply it by the ounces per unit? Or divide, sorry. Or no, sorry, by the total units.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. The cost divided by the total units.
So that's going to be $2.4.
And for the just for the total units for the static budget, is it 3 times 7,500?
Yep.
Okay. Is that 6.2?
Sorry,
And
that's
the-
0.2. It's the difference.
Oh, that's a 0. Okay. Okay.
Awesome. So let me see here. So your selling price variance is going to be taking actual results minus static budget. Or let me see. The actual results, I mean, I'll make it more clear. Oh boy, I went too far. Sorry, I'm lagging right now. I'm lagging.
No problem.
Okay, so this is 0.2. Okay, we're good. So the actual results, or not the selling price variance. I'm going to write this in a different color so you can see it better. Let's see.
Okay.
Let's pick a
Like,
yellow.
do like yellow or something.
Selling price variance. And we also call this total variance. Okay.
Okay.
Is going to be actual results costs minus static budget costs. and you put in an absolute value. You can't get a negative number. You just find the difference, okay?
Do you think we'll be able to make some more note cards after this too?
Yeah, so this is like the one unit we have to make note cards on. But you can just write that down on a piece of paper for now, and then we can make
Okay.
it after that.
Yeah, let me just get another piece of paper out. So. It's nice that this is recorded too, so I can like go back and look at those.
And then after this unit, we only have one more unit left, I think, and then it's just review. So
Okay. So the selling price variance is the actual results cost
mhm.
minus static budget cost. Okay. 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 Okay, I'm good.
Okay. And what do you get?
For the for that number, let me do that real quick. I was just finishing writing it. 58. $9,372.
What
type
again?
that in. It's 58,872 minus.
55,000.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it says 58 there.
Yeah, I just looked at the question as well, because the question has the numbers as well.
True. Yeah, you just got an 8 there.
So it's gonna
Okay.
be $6,372. And do you think this is a favorable variance or an unfavorable variance?
For the flexible budget variance or the sales volume variance?
For the so we're comparing actual results right now to the static budget.
Okay, would that be favorable? Or wait, is this for
These are costs.
cost? Okay, so that's unfavorable.
Yes, because why?
I'm just trying to put it together. It's unfavorable because. Well, it's unfavorable because your budget is 49,500 and the actual results were 55,872. So you lost. It costed 6,372 more.
Yeah, the reason why I made
Okay.
you explain this is because on the exam, he's gonna ask you like how to explain it qualitatively. And that's
Yeah.
gonna be 5 points or 10 points. So you need to know that. Okay.
Okay.
Probably more around 5 to 8 points, probably. Awesome. So now we are going to do the sales volume variance. And I'm just going to hide this chart because it's too big right now for my paper.
Yeah.
But for the sales volume variance, what we're going to do is we are going to take it's going to be the equation for that is flexible budget minus static budget. Like that. So here it is going to be 49,000.
What's this for again?
This is for the sales volume variance.
Okay.
And this basically this variance is asking you, is your modified forecast favorable or unfavorable to your old forecast,
Hmm. Sorry, you cut out on
So,
my.
sorry, the sales volume variance, the whole basically basic purpose of it is asking you, is our modified forecast better in terms of cost, or is our old forecast better?
Let me look at that.
So you can do the math and then you can let me know if you think it's favorable or unfavorable.
Uh. So this would be favorable.
Why would-
Because, well, if this is on the chart, right?
Yeah.
This
so
is
on
the sales
chart-
volume variance.
On the chart is gonna be. Wait,
Oh, never mind, it's not favorable. Never mind, I was thinking backwards. You're
Okay.
losing $1,485.
yeah, only these two numbers. And
Yeah.
it's gonna be unfavorable because you're losing money.
Yeah, I was reading it backwards. I just gotta get that in my head.
Unfavorable, okay?
Yeah.
And then finally, we have the efficiency variance and the input price variance. And this is where the kids fuck up, so be careful, all right? So what we gotta do here is, let me make sure I'm thinking about it correctly.
It's the efficiency variance and what else?
Input price variance.
Okay. Okay.
I think that's right. Let me think about it for a second.
Is that AQ times AP?
Yeah, so
Okay.
basically AQ stands for actual quantity. Okay. AP stands for actual price. SP stands for flexible price. And SQ stands for static quantity or flexible quantity.
Okay.
And I don't know why they made SQ and SPS. I'm not completely sure why. It makes more sense if you put them as F. So you want to do that, fine. It's proper form to put it as S. I honestly, I still don't know why. But actual quantity here is going to be the is going to be, let me think about this for a second. So the quantity is going to be the total amount of units.
Mm-hmm.
Total amount of units here is going to be 23282 or 280. And then the AP is going to be the cost per unit. So it's going to be $2.4.
Okay.
Let's make sure we're doing this right. AQ again, same number. But now that's flexible, the SP is going to be $2.2.
Is that AG or AQ?
AQ, these are all AQs.
Okay, sorry.
And then the static or the SQ is going to be 21825 times SP, which is $2.2.
21825 times 2.2. Okay. Okay, should I just do those calculations real quick?
Before I do it, I need to explain the
Mhm.
concept.
Okay.
So for this question, they don't actually ask for it, but in a lot of cases, they're going to ask for the flexible budget variance. And that variance is going to be actual cost minus static cost, or minus actual cost minus flexible cost. Okay.
Okay.
Which is 55,872, which is really bad fucking handwriting. 55,872 minus 48,015. And we got that earlier actually. What was that number?
Which one was it? Oh, that. Is that the? Yeah, 7875. Let me look at my chart just to make sure. 78. Wait. Where is it? 7857. I think it was. Wait.
7875, I think. Or oh shit, you're right. 7857. Okay.
Yeah, 7857.
And is that favorable or unfavorable?
Unfavorable
Why?
because you're losing $7,857.
Yeah. So the exact way I would phrase it is because the actual results is $7,857 more than our
More.
forecast.
Okay.
Therefore, we are losing more money due to cost, and that is unfavorable.
Okay.
So you do that, and we look at this, and now we found, we found the variance, right? But we don't know why this variance is occurring. Is it because we're using too much material or costs are too much, right? So what we do is basically we break it down using these right here. And this helps us kind of figure out, is it our, are we using too much materials? Is that why our costs are being driven up, or is it because of rising commodity prices, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, we're trying to help break this down, see where the costs are coming from, okay? And that's why we do this. That's like the whole reason why we do this.
Okay.
So we look at this, and first of all, the AQ times AP, we multiply that out.
Mm-hmm.
3280 times 2.4. We get 55,872. AQ times FP is 51,216.
And for the last one, is it 48,015?
Yep. So input price variance. The input price variance is going to be AQ times AP minus AQ times SP. And we get an absolute value, and we get 4656. And that is going to be, what is that? Is that favorable or unfavorable?
Sorry, I'm just writing down the formula you wrote.
Take your time. Take your time.
So it's AQ times AP minus AQ times SP. Okay. And for this one, it would be so would you, okay, so I see how you did that. So what are you asking me now? Sorry, I finished writing it down.
Is this favorable or unfavorable? So remember, we always compare the left to the right. So this is actual results. Right here. And this is
Mhm.
modified forecast. Over here.
Worse, you'd be losing money again because
Exactly,
the,
it's unfavorable. Mhm.
yeah,
And the reason why we call it the input price variance is because we use the actual units for both, right? But we use different prices. We use the actual price here and the forecast price.
mhm,
And that's why we call it input price variance, is because we're changing the input price for each one.
mhm,
So because our cost per unit increased by 20 cents per unit, that incurred like an unfavorable loss for us of $4,656.
okay,
Now let's do the other variance. This is called the efficiency variance. And that is going to be that's going to be 51,216 minus 48,015. So it's going to be AQ times SP minus SQ minus SP, all under absolute values.
oh, minus SP or times?
Minus or times. Oh shit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
My bad. Yeah. Good catch. Good catch. That's good. So that's going to be a variance of 300 or 3,000. $201. Is that correct? Just trying to do my head real quick. Do you have a cold or something?
Yeah,
Yeah, I've been having this like cough the last like 3 weeks. It's fucking awful.
yeah, I know that COVID cases have been kind of rising again here too.
Yeah,
And it's just annoying.
that's unfavorable. And the reason why we call this the efficiency variance is because we call it the efficiency variance because we're keeping the price constant, but we're using different quantities. We're using the actual results quantity and the forecast quantity.
Mhm,
And we're seeing, because we change the quantity, how much of a price difference does that cause us in our results? And
okay,
because we use more materials, it made us spend $3,201 more.
okay. I think next time we meet in person, we should that's something that we should probably write down on a note card.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
that,
We'll write all
those
these down.
explanations, yeah.
So we tried. So are we doing 2 hours on Monday?
Sure. And
Okay.
then the other sessions throughout the week will probably just be a normal hour.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we are going to, what's it called? Do like note cards for the first like 20, 30 minutes, and then we'll spend the other hour and a half.
Yeah.
Kind of finishing up this chapter and going to the last chapter. And someone's calling me. Just text him that I can't talk. Awesome. So does that all make sense?
Yeah.
All right, let's try another one. So we did frames. So now we're going to do,
Is this the other question you sent me?
no. So there's 2 more parts. We still have to do blades and labor, actually.
Oh, is the other thing you sent me one of his quizzes?
Yep.
Okay, that's cool.
It's not a quiz you took though. It's a 2020 version.
Yeah.
It's a vintage quiz.
I'd expect vintage OCs.
Yeah, so I have like a bunch of like material because I have both years, which is
Okay.
honestly I don't even know if that's like allowed, but or I know he probably wouldn't be happy with me having that, but
What's he gonna do?
yeah, because he did release it to everyone, so it's like he can't really bash me for that, I think. So let's do blades now. So
Okay,
remember,
is this another one you're sending me?
nope, it's the same question.
Oh, so we have to do this for each part of that?
Yeah.
Oh God, these questions take a while then.
Yeah, usually on the exam, they only make you do two of them.
Two, they wouldn't make you do three unless
One
a
to two,
cease,
one to two, one to two.
cease might. I could see a cease doing three.
And from what my students told me,
Hmm.
the students who like, I had a couple students who they really got this down with me. They told me that this was not an issue for them because
Hmm.
once you've done it many times, he can't change the question layout that much, and it's very easy
Yeah.
for that. So that's that's what my students told me. Even a couple of my students who aren't very good at managerial accounting because it's so formulaic,
Hmm.
kind of hard to fuck up. So
Yeah, I feel like if we do this a bunch, I'll probably just be fine with it.
yeah.
Yeah, let me create another chart. Takes me a little more time to create the chart just because I like to make it look good. I feel like this would be a lot more easy if you could use Excel.
Yeah, it would definitely. But it's good practice because once you can do this,
Yeah.
you can do anything.
Okay. Got the chart.
Awesome. And then we want to put units sold, costs, and ounces per unit.
Yeah, I've got that too.
Okay. So while I'm writing those down, think of new rows we could create.
Would it be like the same rows as before?
Yeah, but if you want, you can try and like hide those and try to think of rows you can create using the information we have.
Okay. Well, you'd probably have to put the total units in again.
Total units.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I put that's the top row.
Total units. Was it I'm trying to do it without looking. So
Okay, no, that's
was
good.
it the price? Was the next one the price per unit?
Price per unit.
Was that, or what was it called?
Yeah, that works. That's a row we actually didn't create last time, but that's a good start. You want to create as many rows as you can.
Okay. So should I put that one in?
Yep. And then I'm just doing the variances right now. I don't know if you've done that.
Okay. I'll write the stuff in after I finish the chart. Like, but I guess when I was saying price per unit, I meant like cost per unit, stuff like that.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. Okay, let me start filling in the chart now.
Why the fuck is so many people calling me right now? So we have ounces per unit, and then we have cost per unit.
Is that on the for costs for the static budget? Is that 139,500?
Yep.
Okay. Just looks like it's 6.
Yeah, I know. It's like hard. I'm writing it on a. I don't.
You have to use a mouse, right?
So I'm using this right now.
Oh, it's like a little pad. Okay.
Yeah, because I have an iPad, but I don't have an Apple Pencil yet. So I'm
I
working.
actually
on it.
you don't. I didn't buy where is it? For my iPad, I didn't buy like an official Apple Pencil just because they're kind of expensive, but you can get one like this. They're like $20 and they're like 24 bucks on Amazon and they work perfectly.
Yeah, I might do that. We'll see. I might just invest in the Apple Pencil because
Yeah, it's fine. But
I originally used this because I didn't have when I started tutoring for TAs.
you didn't have an iPad.
It was mostly virtual. No one really came in
Yeah.
person, so I would have to write on here. But then my aunt gave me her iPad, or she basically gave it to me for like 3 years, or she loaned it to me for 3 years because she works for a university and they give her a new iPad every year.
Okay.
So she basically I can use this iPad until she retires.
Okay.
Basically, I have the iPad now, so I don't really need this tablet anymore. But I don't have a pen
Mhm.
for the iPad, which is why I'm still using it.
Yeah, writing with the finger on the iPad gets annoying. Like I just recommend an Apple Pencil.
So are you caught up?
Almost. I'm just writing the costs.
Let me know when you're caught up.
What?
Just let me know when you're caught up.
Yeah. Should I have put on my chart? I put total units ahead of the cost per unit. Is that okay?
The cost
On-
per unit?
Or I put the total units ahead of that. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, basically, you want to write it like this, but it doesn't really matter, to be honest. Like, you're not gonna get that.
Okay.
It's just easier.
Oh.
You'll realize it's easier when you write in this format after you do it for a while.
Okay, let me.
I've done this for, God, it's been almost 2 years now. So,
Yeah, here I'm just fixing my chart.
a while. I just want to teach managerial accounting at this point. I feel like I could do a better job than C's.
Yeah, Cease was not.
Don't tell him that.
What?
Don't tell him that. He got
I
really
won't.
pissed, bro. He literally he got kind of pissed when like other girls, like my students, were telling him that like I was a really good teacher. So mad.
Cost per unit. Okay.
It's like an ego thing, I think.
Is that 20.72?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can always just divide it too. You divide the
Yeah.
cost by unit sold.
$18.60 or
Yep.
just 18.6.
Yeah, you don't write the zeros. It's redundant.
Okay. I'm all caught up.
Cool. So now we think, what other rows can we create here?
Well, the total units, if you,
We already have that.
oh, okay.
Just try
Oh,
like
there's no- let me-
try dividing and multiplying.
I didn't see in the first row that you erased the dollar sign there for a sec.
Oh,
I was just a little confused by that, sorry. Okay, so let's see. Can you do costs per ounce?
yeah. And how would do like cost per ounce? Yeah.
Would you take the cost divided by the ounces?
Yeah. So can you tell me what specific numbers that'll be?
So 150,738 divided by 20. Oh, no, sorry, divided by the 6. Okay,
No. So that'll be
really?
so because remember the whole thing with costs and revenues. I tell you,
Yeah.
we can do total divided by total and unit divided by unit.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are fine, but we can never do total
Divided by
unit
unit.
or
Okay.
unit divided by total because they're different things. So you can't do those. And that's what you're doing right now. You're doing
So would you
total
divide the 20 divided by 6?
Yep, that works.
The 20.72 divided by
And
6?
just as a, as a, let me think about it. 20 divided by 6. Yeah, that works. That works really well.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, I fucked up. This is 7 here.
Oh,
And this is 6. I wrote it down wrong.
so with that, okay. No problem.
And I knew because when I divided it, the number didn't look familiar. And I've done this question like 50 times. I was like, that's
So
something.
does that mean we got the cost per unit wrong too?
No, those are right because for
Oh,
cost per
you
unit,
just, okay,
it's different. We use different numbers to calculate that.
okay, okay. So you do 20.72 divided by 7. So 2.9, yeah. And then for the next one, you do the 2.12 divided by 1.
2 point, wait, what do you do?
Wait, so for the, or do you do the two? Oh, no.
Basically, you divide here, but for the.
Oh, yeah, it's a
column,
differences,
you-
but
Mhm.
yeah, I forgot about that part. Okay, there we go. Are there more rows that we should try to think of?
Yeah, there's one more row.
One more row, okay. Let me see. Um. How many? I can't, I don't, I'm kind of lost on this last one.
So remember in the last question,
Yeah.
we had actual quantity, right? And that's
Mhm.
the total amount of ounces. So we need to find the total amount of ounces.
Oh, total ounces, okay.
Yep.
Would you, for that one, do the ounces per unit times, would that be times units sold?
What do you do?
Is it ounces per unit times,
Units sold? Yeah.
yeah, units, okay. So 7275 times 7.
Yeah. 7275 times 7. Yeah.
So wait, where did you get 100 and? I got 50,925.
Oh shit! I'm looking at the wrong stuff. I'm being dumb.
Yeah, just making sure.
It's 50,925.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Yeah, I was lazy. I didn't want to plug it into the calculator, so I was looking at my own answer key. Uh,
Is it just a coincidence that that
yeah.
happened to be 7275? Okay.
He always does that. All right, I'm gonna use the restroom, but try and solve for the first couple variances, okay?
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
Just look at the formulas we did previously and
Yeah.
try and figure out some. I was the first couple. A couple of them are pretty easy. So
Which one do you start off with again? The selling price variance?
I like doing the selling price variance and the sales volume variance and the flexible budget variance first. Those are the easiest.
Okay.
So yeah. A couple of those are already on the paper, but I want you to like write out the formula and find the answer for practice.
Okay.
Okay, I'll be back in 2 minutes. All right, how are you looking so far? Have you found any of the variances?
I think for this, is the selling price variance 11,238?
Yep. And is that favorable or unfavorable?
That is, here, let me look at it again. Unfavorable. Because you're losing $11,238 because your static budget is 139,500 and your actual result was 150,738.
Yep. That's good.
For the, what's it called? For the sales volume variance, I got 4,185. It was negative, but you just ignore the negative, right?
mhm.
Okay.
Is that favorable or unfavorable?
Unfavorable.
Why is it unfavorable?
Let me look. So it's the static budget or the flexible budget minus the static budget. Wait, think left or right. Oh, I know it's favorable because. Here, wait. So the flexible budget is. Your wait. So the flexible budget is the like what you are actually working with, right?
Yes.
Okay, so it is unfavorable because
Well, flexible
Yeah.
budget is a modified forecast, and the static budget is the old forecast.
the old forecast.
Yeah.
Okay. So it would be unfavorable because you're losing $4,185.
Uh, well, this is not a revenue. This is a cost.
Oh. Okay. So it costs 4,185 more,
Less. You're spending
less.
Yeah.
So this is favorable?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. I actually have to go to the bathroom now, so I'll be back in like a couple minutes.
Okay, go for it.
Sorry.
60 seconds, it's gonna be 3 p.m. Which means I get to be in exactly 9 hours and 1 minute. My fucking lips.
Okay, I'm back.
All right, cool. So you found the sales volume variance, right? Did you find that yet?
Yeah.
And then what other variances have you solved for?
So the sales volume variance was the 4,185. Let me see, I have to do the flexible budget variance now. It's the actual cost minus flexible costs. So that'd be the 150,738 minus the 15,000. Here, wait, let me look at that again. Actual cost minus flexible costs. You said those are the three ones you should do first, right?
So flexible budget is going to be actual results
Mm-hmm.
minus flexible budget.
Oh, minus the flex, not the flexible budget variance. Okay, so 150,738 minus 135,315. Okay. So is that the 15,423?
Yep. And is that
Okay.
favorable or unfavorable? Just take your time. Just spend 20
Yeah,
seconds thinking about it.
unfavorable.
Why?
Because your flexible budget is 135,315 and the actual result was 150,738. Oh, I know this isn't revenue against costs. Keep thinking of it as revenue.
Just spend 30 seconds. I'll time you.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
I'll give you 60 seconds. Just think about it. Don't say it yet. Got 40 more seconds left.
Okay, I think I know it though. Okay.
All right, what you got?
So I'm actually gonna say it's unfavorable because it costs your costs are $15,423 higher
Yeah,
than what you expected.
exactly. And now we got to do the last part. The last part is going to be, let's see. Remember, so we had to create this AQ times
The-
AP.
AQ times SP,
Mhm.
SQ times SP.
Yeah. So then our AQ is going to be what?
Yeah, I have the actual quantity.
Which is what?
The actual quantity is 7,275.
That's units. What's the quant?
Oh, Is that the total ounces?
Yep.
So the 50,925.
Okay, what's the actual price?
$2.96.
Okay, what's the static or the flexible price?
Yeah, the.
You just think about it as
the
flexible.
Yeah, okay, so the flexible price is 14 cents.
That's a variance.
Oh, that's a flexible budget variance, a flexible budget price, $3.01. Or 10 cents, sorry. And then SQ times SP. So the SQ is at the static, what's that one again? Oh no, the S is a flexible quantity and flexible price. Is that what the S is the SQ? Is that what the SQ is?
Yeah,
Flexible quantity, flexible price, okay. So flexible quantity is 7275.
that's units sold.
The
quantity.
43,650. Okay, I'm confused.
And what's the price?
$3.01.
For the static. Oh,
10.
yep.
Yeah, $3.10.
So let's find the numbers for all of those.
Yeah. $150,738.
Yep.
Here, I'm just writing all this down.
And then we'll go a little bit over today because I was a little bit late with the bloody nose, and then we
It's okay.
got 15 minutes from the other session. So we'll finish up this question, okay?
Yeah.
So we have the labor left, which is gonna take us another 15 to 20 minutes, and we'll call it a day, right? And then we'll let you rest. I know this is
Okay.
a hard topic. Are the flashcards helping? Or have you?
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, so now we do the so now are we doing the input price variance?
Yep.
Okay. AQ times AP minus the AQ times SP. So is it 7129?
Yep.
Okay.
And just do the efficiency variance.
And the efficiency variance, I just like walking through it. So it's the AQ times SP minus the SQ times SP.
Yep.
So the 22,552.5.
Yep. And are these unfavorable or favorable?
Sorry, I'm just writing it down. So the input price variance would be the input price variance would be favorable
Yeah, why?
because you because like your original, is it original? What do I say? Is it original budget?
You want to compare the actual to the to the forecast.
Yeah. Well, so the actual was less than the forecast.
Yep.
Okay. And then for the next one, it would be, for the efficiency variance, it would be unfavorable.
Yeah.
Because you're losing 22,552.
Yeah. When we change from the forecast price or from the forecast materials to the actual quantity increased. Therefore, it drove up costs.
Okay,
Yeah. So that's good. We're going to do the last part now.
okay.
So we'll
We
do
go on to another page.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend my room reservation for 15 or 20, no, for 20 more minutes, and then just start working on it, and I'll catch up with you. Okay. So do the labor.
Okay, so like make the chart and everything.
Yep, for labor. Exactly.
Okay. Did you get the extension?
I did not. So I'm just going to sit outside the library.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
What, is someone else waiting?
Yeah. Just keep working on it.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. I'll be fine.
What room did you have? Was it in one of the like random side rooms near the big room that we were in?
It's G80D, which is like one of the glass rooms.
Oh, okay.
But it's harder and harder to get rooms. I have a feeling like a lot of people know about booking rooms now, so it's like much more difficult to do it.
Kind of funny that you actually have to book a room though. It's not like first come, first serve.
That's
I
very,
guess they're trying to be fair.
yeah. Well, now I just book like super far in advance.
Yeah.
So that's a strat.
So for this one, since we aren't doing ounces per unit, should the thing be hours per unit?
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
And total hours. Same concept.
Okay, so I've got the basic chart set up so far with the like the three rows.
Okay, that's good. Did you find the variant
So would the
for those basic rows?
I'm still creating the full chart. So for the next one, should I do cost per hour?
Um,
Since we did like cost per, it was cost per unit before, so would it be cost per hour?
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Give me 1 minute. I need to walk through the library real quick.
Yeah, no problem. Is there a lot of people there right now?
Here you go. Hi, can I get my ID back for GADD? Thank you.
Also, just, the idea of federal costing and how that. Just like in that time.
Okay.
All right, I'm back. What do you have so far?
Okay, so I'm still correct. I'm just want to make sure I have the chart right. So I got units sold, costs, hours per unit, and then cost per hour. Does that work?
So you have units.
Units sold,
I don't need to sell.
cost per hour, or costs, hours per unit. And then I'm just thinking like, should the next one just be cost per hour?
Yep.
Okay. So for the units sold, would it be well, okay, so the static budget cost for this is 135,000. Oh wait, no, the first row, is it the same numbers as we've always been using, 7275 and stuff like that?
Yep.
Okay. 7275, 7,500 over here. So for with the first chart that we calculated, the first row is always going to be the same for each one of the three that are like here.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, costs. So the static cost is 135,500.
The static cost is 135,000. What do you say?
Or 135, not 500. I say 500.
So what was the number?
So the static budget cost is 135,000.
Yep.
Okay.
So you're saying.
And the actual cost is, or the actual result was, oh wait, I had to find those, right? Let me see here. So for the costs, is that where we had to do the like 135,000 over 7,270 over 7,500 times?
Yeah. So if you do the labor cost divided by the units, you get the cost per unit.
Hmm.
So if we take total
I'm
labor
just-
divided by the units, you're getting the cost per unit.
Mhm.
Oh, I got
So would the cost be 130,950?
For the flexible budget, yes.
Okay. Wait, so I'm confused now. What's the actual cost for the actual result here for that?
They tell you it. It's 145,355. It's in the
Wait,
question.
where is that? Oh, down here. Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot about that part. Oops.
And those are the stupid questions, like,
So the flexible budget is 130,950. Then the variance. The variance is 4,050 for the sales volume variance.
Yeah, that's the sales volume variance.
And the
Is that
flexible
favorable or
budget variance.
unfavorable?
That is, let me look. Favor. Wait, no, so the static budget is the old. Flexible budget is the new. It is favorable.
Mhm.
Because you're saving 4,050.
Yep.
Okay.
And then what's your next variance?
So the flexible budget variance is 14,405.
Yep.
And that is unfavorable because you are losing $14,405.
Yep.
I'm just writing the little U and the F in there too. Okay, so now the hours per unit is the actual result for the hour per unit 1.20?
What is that number?
Or 1.20 hours per unit? For the,
For the hours per unit.
yeah, is that the actual result?
The actual is gonna be 1.35. The flexible and the static is 1.2.
Okay. And the flexible budget variance and the sales volume variance are 0 for that, right?
The flexible budget variance and the sales volume variance.
For hours per unit is 0,
Well,
right?
so for the sales volume variance and the flexible budget variance, you only do it for the cost.
Okay.
Yeah.
So wait, how did you get 1.35 for the actual hours per unit?
How do we get 1.35?
Yeah, where do you see that?
1.35, we just take the cost per unit divided by the cost per direct labor hour.
Wait. My chart, I have the first 2 rows filled in.
So you have units right now and labor costs, right?
Units is filled in, units sold, and costs are filled in. And then I
What
have,
about,
for hours per unit, I have the flexible budget with 1.2 and the static budget with 1.2, but I haven't filled in anything else yet.
so you have the
I
hours
miss-
per unit.
I like,
So we
yeah.
can't find the hours per unit right now because, or the,
I thought it says that it's 1.2 hours per unit, like in
oh, does it
the,
say in the question?
yeah. It says direct manufacturing labor, static budget costs of
Oh.
135,000. The standard input for 2020 is 1.2 hours per unit.
Yeah, but that's for static, not for actual.
Okay.
So now what you want
I'm
to
just
do.
kind of confused on how to find the actual hours per
Yeah,
unit.
so the thing with that is, let's see. We can't figure it out yet. What you have to do right now is you have to first find the cost per unit.
Okay, I did cut Was it okay if I wrote cost per hour or should,
Well, you need to do both, cost per unit, and cost per hour, because those are both
Okay.
rows you can create.
okay, I've got that rolling now. So we do the cost per unit first.
Yep.
So the cost per unit, is that 1480?
For actual, yes.
Okay. But I'm just kind of confused because it says 1.2 hours per unit and then 14.8 per hour. I'm just kind of,
Yeah, so there's a just small distinction, right? So the actual labor rate was $14.80 per hour. That means for every hour, they're paying laborers $14.80. And then hours per unit is how many actual hours they're spending to produce that one unit. And for the static budget, you're spending 1.2 hours.
okay. So cost per, we're doing cost per unit now, so, so the actual is 1480 for cost per unit.
Mhm.
Okay. And then the static is, do we multiply the 14.8 times 1.2?
14.8 times.
Or is it divided?
So which one are you trying to find right now?
I'm trying to find the static, like, I'm just going across the row. There's the flexible budget and the static budget for costs per unit.
For cost per unit, if you're trying to find cost per unit, you would do the 1.2 times. Oh, I see. You know what? Fuck it. Let me just pull out my iPad real quick.
Yeah, I'm just kind of confused on this part.
And then also saying.
We might have to pick up on this one next time.
No, that's fine. We'll spend an extra 5 minutes.
Okay.
I just put my stuff away because it kicked me out.
Yeah.
Give me 2 seconds to get back out. Let's see. You can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me try to write this out real quick. So, oh my God, what is that color? Oh, it's like, oh, I know what the.
Do you have
problem
like
is.
a chalk filter on or something?
Yeah, it's like a chalk background.
It looked like you had a chalk like filter on the actual like.
Oh
writing.
yeah, I drove down the opacity. That's why. So I want to make it even like more chalky. Like that doesn't really work, but
That's okay.
I'm not gonna write very well, but you get the gist. That's abbreviated sales volume variance. So we have our units sold. Five, 0, 7275, 225, 7500. All good.
Mhm.
Costs. Can you just name me the cost real quick?
1453355.
14.
5355.
Okay.
14,405 for the flexible budget variance.
14,405.
Yes.
Okay.
130,950.
Okay.
4,050.
Okay.
135,000.
And then we have what else? We have.
I did- hours per unit is the one that I had next. Is that, Good.
I
might have messed up my chart.
Yeah, that's fine. And what do we have there? It's 1.2.
this is where I got, yeah. And 1.2, and you said we couldn't find the other ones, right?
Yeah, so what we want to do is basically fill in all the information you have. So we
Mhm.
have cost per direct labor hour. Or cost per, yeah.
I had cost per unit next. That's what you told me to do after hours per unit.
Yeah, so the last few rows, it doesn't matter what order you put in. So cost per hour, we have 14.8.
hmm This is where I got stuck, yeah.
Oh, not 0. So we don't know anything else. All right, so everything from here, we got to fill it out. So the first thing I would do is I look at this and I'm like, okay, we have the units sold, right?
Mhm.
And we have the cost, right? So therefore, we take cost divided by units sold, it would get us the cost per unit.
Mhm.
So we do cost per unit. And that's going to be 18 or 19.98. And these two are going to be 18. Okay.
19.98.
Yeah. If we divide it, yeah. So I found that, and I'm thinking about it, and we can do. Let's see what else we can do here. 14.8. Let's see. If we take the cost per unit divided by the cost per, or so cost per unit divided by the hours, we get the total amount of hours per unit. Do you see how that works?
So which one are you doing again?
I do
I just wanna get this part down.
19.98
Divided by,
14.8.
oh, okay, I see now. Cause
Yeah.
when you told me 1.35 earlier, I just had no clue how you got that.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. I get it
So
now.
then this one's gonna be 0.15, and then we divide these two and we get 15, I believe. Yeah, we get 15. And then we get 0, 0, 0.2, 1.98. And now that we get the cost per hour, we have cost per hour, and we have the total cost, we can find the total hours.
So is that another row I should put in
Yeah.
total hours?
Mhm.
Okay,
The total hours here is going to be 9821.2.
is that for the actual
Yep.
9 point, what was it, 9.821? Oh, 9,
9821.2.
okay. 8730. 9,000. That's a 270, yeah.
I don't know. Can you calculate that for me? 9821.2 minus.
1091.2.
Okay. And then to find your variance, you're going to do AQ times AP, or
Mhm.
yeah, AQ times AP. So AQ here is going to be the total hours.
Mhm. So 9821.2 times
Times
AP. So is that the
14.8.
9821.2 times 145,352.28.
Yep.
So now the next one we do is the which one is it? The AQ times SP.
Yep.
And then the last one we do is the SP times SQ.
Mhm. Do those and let me know what you get.
Okay, so AQ, so the 9821.2 times, let me see, times 15.
Mhm.
Okay. And then for the last one, would it be, I'm just writing out all of them right now. Would it be 15 times SQ? Is that 9,000?
It's 8730.
Oh, 8730, okay.
Mhm.
Okay, let me just calculate those. So 147,316.5 for the AQ times SP.
Yep. And then what is the last one?
And just 130,950.
Yep.
Okay.
And what are the variances?
So we have to do the sales volume variance first.
We've already done sales volume variance. So for these two, it's efficiency and
Oh.
price variance or input price variance.
So input. So the input variance is.
Why are you studying here? Are you with Pepper? Oh, you just like studying here? Interesting. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely better than Ken building. Oh, you told me about that. Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. All right. All right, sounds good. All right, I'll see you later.
So the input variance is. Or should I take this in wrong? Fuck,
Input variance is what?
I was doing. I just typed it in wrong when I calculated it. Let me do it again.
Okay.
1,964.22.
1,900 and what?
64.22.
Mhm. And what is the efficiency variance?
That would be 147,316.5 minus 130,950, which is 16,366.5.
Yep. Awesome job.
Okay. Thank you.
So we'll call it a day.
Yeah,
late.
thank you for the help.
Yeah, of course, man. So that was basically variance. So that's good. We cover that. We'll try and do a little bit more variance to tidy it
Yeah.
up next time, and then we'll work on the last unit. And then I'm gonna ask the C if he's gonna cover ABC costing on the exam, because if so, I'll cover that as well. But it's kind of a separate unit,
Okay.
and I feel like he's not gonna test it, but I'll ask him real quick. And if he
To
says
make
so,
sure.
yeah. If we don't have to look at it, we won't look at it. But
Yeah,
yeah, that should be pretty much it. I'll see you Friday at 5:15.
Yeah.
Okay,
Or
you can come a little
Monday.
bit earlier because I might finish a little bit earlier.
you mean
Um,
Monday?
Or yeah, Monday. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Monday, you can come around 5:05. Probably I might be done by then. If not, I'll be done by 5.
Okay.
5:15. We'll go for 2 hours, and yeah. So
Hopefully I'm
should
feeling
we-
better tomorrow.
yeah. If not, we can always do Zoom tomorrow as well, because then you also get the recording, which is nice.
Yeah, recording is helpful too.
So I'm gonna stop the recording